Oh, good. Let's plunge into the matter. This survey looked at 3 items: incumbency, and that is third term debate for Barrow, as well as whether in the UDP, whether Usainu Dabo, what is the rate or what is the perception about if he wants to contest again. And then you also look at, under that, there's another aspect for example, the coalition. You have, there are aspects of coalition between 3 political parties like third force. There's also, in the UDP, you look at if there is going to be a succession, the possibility that who among them have the greater chances. The name of Talib Bensouda you keep suitable as a suitable replacement. Now, let's start with the incumbency, the presidency. 55% of your respondents, that's in the country, says they would not love Barrow to go for a third term. Yet, if he is to go, according to your survey, he is likely to be the winner. Can you explain this 55%? How do you obtain this?
All right. Thank you very much. First of all, I just want to look at this report that was published by, Gambia Participate. The report, I know people have reacted to a lot of things.
Yes.
But what they fail to understand is, some of them I doubt whether they have read the introduction. Because that set the stage. It set the stage in terms of the problem statement.
Okay.
What are the issues, for example? And in our introduction, we made it very clear that the government faced mounting pressure over the pace of transitional justice implementation, corruption, economic challenges, and public sector reform, while the opposition has also been engaging in what? Internal restructuring and leadership repositioning.
Yes.
So these are problem statements that we have identified.
I see.
You understand? And then based on those things, we try to look at it in terms of how we could ask questions around that. So if you look at it, for example, how these questions came about, for example, like you alluded to the area that we look at, and the first aspect we looked at was, the incumbency, Barrow, and also looking at the opposition and so on. And now, going back to the results, the 55, how it come about. At this point also, I also want to add the methodology. So that we understand before we even get to the results how it has been conducted, even though we try to articulate that in the report. But again, people have to understand that we cannot write everything, in the methodology. Others are
the first thing people will say, these people said 55% of Gambians. How did they come? Did they talk to everybody in the Gambia? So the layman's understanding. I want you to break it down,
It's natural in any research. You don't, especially the number, you don't have to interview everybody.
Only 2.5 million people.
No, you don't. So what people need to understand is this OP is based on a scientific and very rigorous methodology.
I must emphasize, in your conversation, OP means opinion poll. Before they said office of the president.
Yes, opinion poll, exactly. So actually the methodology is such that, first of all, if you look at the Gambian voter population, as of, the last electoral cycle, we're talking about over 900,000. So in terms of, gender disparity, female about 52 point something percent and male low one. So, and we look at that voter register, in terms of, its number. For example, we have about 53 constituencies in the Gambia.
Yeah.
And the constituencies differ in terms of the number of voters in that. So what we did was we tried to, use a sampling method that is based, it is in different stages. For example, at the LGA level, what we did was we involved all the local
government
areas, all of them, from Banjul to Kanifing to West Coast to, of course, LRR, NBR, CRR, North CRR, South, URR, and of course, yes, I think those are the regions. They were all involved, 8 regions. Now, the next stage was to look at it in terms of consequences. Now, again, we took all the 53 consequences. All the LGS are taken on board. All the 53 consequences are also taken on board. Now, at that level now, if you look at the consequences again, the number of voters in each constituency differ. For example, if you look at Brikama North, it has more voter population than, for example, let's say Kian West.
Yeah.
So what we did is, when we calculate our sample size using a scientific approach, using a Yamani formula, we come up with a sampling size of 1,482. So that 1,482 was proportionately distributed to the 53 constituencies. So that proportionate such that like Brikama North, we expect it to be having more respondents than Kian West, for example, because of their voter population. So it becomes a very representative sampling. Now, because this is, election matters, we expect some kind of refusals.
Yes.
We also oversample, to cater for those kind of things. But at the end of the day, what we had was 1,556 respondents who were interviewed across the country. Now, from within the constituencies as well, what we did was we randomly selected the communities that our enumerators will go and interview. That was randomly done. Now, when that was done, so now we're able to identify the communities where they will go. Not all the communities were covered, no, but it was randomly selected.
Did you specifically target communities where you think, for example, respondents will be in favor of Barrow or in favor of Taliban?
You wouldn't know. You just have a list of them.
So you randomly...
it is randomly picked.
Okay.
That is how it is done. Some will be in the hard-to-reach areas, others on the highway. But it doesn't matter. It has to be randomly done. Otherwise, it will be biased.
Of course.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when that was done, it was randomly selected, and then enumerators were assigned. So we have 53 constituencies, and in the report we indicated 48 enumerators. Others were even questioning why 48 and we have 53. It's such that at the end of the day, what happened was not all the enumerators we call appeared on the training day. So what happened? Those 5 gap, like for example, someone from Woolly West came, but the Woolly East did not come. So the one in the Woolly East, we assigned him the cover.
Woolly East.
That is just a simple thing people do. But people are making a lot of noise for 53.
Yes.
Is it not possible that someone cover one constituency?
Even in the census, people cover
yes. It's so simple for one to understand that. So that was done, and now
generally 48 over 53 is not even bad.
So all the consequences were covered. So what happened again? If the enumerators, we trained them, and they went through the process itself. We did the pre-testing and everything to check our instruments and so on. So when they get to the communities, the idea is they go to a neutral location. For example,
they don't go to El Carlos house.
No. They go to either a mosque, a school, or a health facility, whichever is available. You stand there and face the eastward. You know, the first compound, you enter, jump to, move to the next compound until you exhaust your samples are in that community. It is also randomly done. And now, again, we are using the copy tool, a survey solution. All the questions are put in a tablet, and every day is assigned to enumerators. Now, before you can even start the interview, you have to collect your GPS. That is a condition. And any interview without GPS is rejected. So GPS will show your location.
Yes.
So you cannot even cheat. That you cannot be conveniently sitting in your house collecting data. It's not possible because the GPS will show. So we ensure that any form that is not, where GPS is not picked, is rejected by our supervisors. So we have what we call a high frequency check of our data on a daily basis. So many forms were rejected in the process to ensure that a quality data is collected. So now you will know exactly from your data that it is collected in so and so community. It's clear. The data is here. We are now in a digital world.
Absolutely. So
you cannot, and even when interview is done, we know that interview is being done. Because, even the way of asking questions, the movements, like the mic movement, will tell you that we monitor all those things. The interview time, we know the average interview time. If you done it, in a lesser time, it is flat. And not only that, we also do some kind of a back check. Those forms that we are suspicious about, we do a back check to find out about
whether the numerator.
Yes, all those things have been done. So it is a process that has gone for days, for weeks.
If you are not sure numerators target compounds who support Talib and Suda or who or against Barrow
Exactly.
or who against Dabo.
No. So all those things
random, genuinely random.
genuinely done, and then we've done that. So when that was done, everything put together. So in terms of quality checks, it has been thoroughly looked at. I must also add that no one research is perfect. We are not saying that we are 100% accurate. I mean, we would not even think about that. But to a greater extent, we know that the data shows some very important indicators that people should take it very seriously. Now, also I want to add, there are also other people that talk about reliability and validity. I mean,
and integrity.
Integrity. Yeah, we know. I mean, if you talk about reliability in a layman language, you are talking about what? The consistency.
Yes, the consistency
of the measurement that you are doing.
One trust. Well, CepRass trustworthy in the past anyway.
So if you talk about validity, it's all about what? Accuracy.
Yes.
Of the instrument, whether the instrument measures what it's supposed to measure. I mean, these are some of the questions we use. I used in the past in our OP, and this has been tested, and then we know what has happened in the past. All our predictions came to what? Almost.
Of course, in most cases during the past, CepRass, well, they even said ignore CepRass, ignore CepRass.
So therefore, to talk about reliability, the validity, even in terms of the content validity, it has passed all those tests. I mean, we know exactly. So the question is, people are continue to ask is, we should write like what I'm just explaining now. We should put all those things in paper. It doesn't make sense. In report writing, you just get key points.
Yeah.
And then send to the people. If people have that or they want some clarification, they can reach out to GP. They will provide them with the necessary data, and even other areas that they might be interested, because that data is a huge data. You cannot analyze everything. So it is there for people, an interest group, to come forward and ask for those data. They could be helped. So and I think that this clarification can help into that.